I'm the queen and I'm in first place. Yeah. Royalties, royalties. I need those royalties, royalties, royalties. Treat me like royalties, royalties, royalties.
Hey y'all, how y'all doing? How y'all doing? Hope everybody is hanging in there during this situation. We're gonna do our makeup today because why not? So yeah, I hope everybody's been doing good in the midst of all the things that are going on. Personally, I'm loving it. I am like, yes, the matrix is crumbling. I'm like, yes, the economy's crashing. I can actually get my piece of the pie. Yay. It's all about how you play the game. It's all about, and you know what about makeup? Like, everybody does their makeup different. So if you're judging me how I do makeup, you should probably log off now because it's going to come out cute at the end. But anyway, this whole situation for me, I'm like looking at it like a blessing because I'm like, one thing that I was feeling was stress and pressure around time. I was like, ooh, this is everything coming out so fast. And God just said, skirt, skirt. And put a whole halt on everything. And I'm like, thank you, Lord. Thank you. You knew my summer body was not ready. You knew my assignments was not getting done on time. Yes, Lord. Yes. So yeah, I'm not feeling no type of way negatively about this whole situation. I do keep up with what's going on. And I do empathize with the people that are going through situations, especially people that know people that are affected. That is a lot to process. So I pray that those people that are affected, that are still living, recover and recoup from this. And those that have passed, you know, I pray that their families find peace. Because that is a lot to take in, I can imagine. But yeah, you know, I don't want to give too deep and dig too deep into giving the situation power. I want to take back the power. And that's why I said I was excited about more so the time and the opportunities to take advantage of during this time. For example, I've been getting into the stock market. I had already bought some shares of stock prior to the situation, like a year or so, or maybe more than that back. And my stocks were doing good. And now I'm like back in the stock market. The housing market might be doing something soon. I'm like, yes, get my own house. Okay, I need to get my own space. Yes, Lord, I miss my space, Lord, I miss it. And then they're supposed to be cutting these checks. Me personally, I'm just gonna make sure if I do get the check that it's flipped. Smack it up, flip it, rub it down. You know, you gotta play the game. You gotta play the game. So yeah, I've been trying to do my research about what's going on with that. I've been using this Juvia's Place concealer and foundation, and I'm still not sure how I feel about it because it looks different on camera than it does in real life because of the lighting. I'll say that, but it is still thick. I don't know. I think I'm a Fenty girl. I think I might be Fenty for life because I was a NARS girl. Then NARS cut back on their shades and that was shady, okay? And then as soon as NARS did that, Fenty, I was like, let me try this. And nothing really is comparing to Fenty, but I wanted to support. I know Juvia's Place is Black owned. Juvia's Place? Yeah, Juvia's Place is Black owned. And I wanted to support. I heard good things, but it might just be for people that are doing more professional makeup. I don't know. My face still comes out good, but also it has a lot of transfer, and I don't like that either. So anyway, yeah, so with all this going on, I know a lot of people are probably like stressed, have anxiety, have worry, have fear. There's a lot of fear-based thinking and practices going on right now. Like I said, I don't identify with any of those emotions or patterns of thinking. At most, maybe anxiety. But I have a lot of excitement, and that might be weird to hear right about now, to know somebody is like excited. But as things crumble and topple, things are being built. And so that's where I'm like excited about, because it's like what's being built. There's a couple years ago, like I say around 2014, between 2012, probably before 2012, because in 2012 the world was supposed to end. So I'd say between
Pause. Don't it look like a mime from church? Carry on.
2010 to 2015, those 5 years. You know, I was around a lot of people that had a lot of talk of a new world order and all kinds of things, and there was a lot of like fear-based talk. But now that we're living in it, and I'm realizing, oh, this is what they were talking about, like a new world order. Like schools are going to be different, work is going to be different, the government's going to be different, interactions are going to be different. Like the cash, like actual cash exchange of dollar is going to soon fade out, you know? So yeah, when they're talking about a new world order, before it was like, oh my gosh, fear. And now it's like, oh no, it's restructure. You can see fear in it if you want to. You can see fear in anything if you want to. But I'm looking at it as restructuring. So this is Mary Kay. This is what I use to contour. It's a little bit, and it doesn't really go, this goes better with the Fenty. Don't believe me, just watch, okay? Anyway, so now that we're living in that time, it's like, oh, okay, this is what, you know, is being talked about, or is always kind of talked about to an extent, right? But me, especially growing up in like a Christian household, a very religious church and background and foundation. Foundation, that's funny. I'm doing foundation. It's interesting to me how many people subscribe to Christianity or Christian beliefs and values and ideals and thinking, but also subscribe to fear-based thinking, which I'm not trying to ridicule anybody, because fear is a human emotion, so it's somewhat natural to experience. But when you understand that you are a spiritual being, living a flesh, like living in a human body, you can start to de-identify and disassociate with emotions such as fear. And so I've been able to do that. Like, there's a line Jay-Z has in one of his songs. It's called Nice. It's on the Carter album. And he says, I have no fear of anything, do everything well. I have no fear of jail. I was born in a trap. I have no fear of death. We're all going to do that. And so that resonated with me. Because it's like, we all are born in a trap. I have no fear of anything. I do everything well. If I have power, like, we're talking about the power of God that's within us, so I can do anything. I can do anything. I can do it well. Sometimes it takes practice. Sometimes it doesn't. I know I look so crazy right now, but we're not done. Moving on to eyebrows. And then no fear of death. We're all going to do that. That's the truth. What is there to fear? Some people hit it sooner than later. And the thing about death is it's more so on the people that's still living's part that it hurts. Once you're dead, you can't do nothing about it. So I'm just saying, listening to that changed my mindset. So when things like this happen, I don't really subscribe to out of fear-based thinking, because I know, especially growing up in a Christian religious household and home, the power that's within me is greater than the power that's within the world. And the power that's within the world will have to bow and subscribe to the power that is within me, which is the power of the Most High God. The power of life and death is in my tongue. So if I say it, it goes. That's the thinking I subscribe to. So it helps me in times like this to realize nothing that they, whoever they is, nothing that they do can affect me unless I let it, right? Unless, that's another thing about the Juvia's Place. I haven't put on the foundation yet, but with the Juvia's Place, like it does that. I don't like that. So yeah, with what's going on, this is a great window of opportunity to reclaim your power. This is a great window of opportunity to tap into that relationship with God. Because, okay, so for me, I grew up in a very religious, environment, home, very involved in church. I definitely drew that eyebrow too far. But now being an adult, and doing more research, more expanding, more exploring, more evolving, and more developing and finding in my own relationship with God, I have deeper beliefs, expanded understanding, and an expanded relationship than what I once had, obviously, as a child, which is the goal, right? We're gonna do some shadow. Whoa, whoa, and then you girls fly as me, whoa, whoa. Oh, so then I use this, which is supposed to be setting powder. It's, it's not even set. Oh, yeah. Smoothing translucent setting powder. I'll use translucent powder on, like, occasion. Especially if I try to get rid of a transfer. Oops. If I'm trying not to do, like, a transfer and I'm going out and gonna be, like, hugging people, I don't want to be doing too much transfer. So I'll just do the translucent powder like this. Like where I'm gonna do my highlight later. I'll do a little bit right here because you see how it's like wrinkling. Yeah, and then it gets those wrinkles out. I forget where we just was. Oh, shadow for sure. That's what we're about to do. This is a rose quartz palette. It has all the colors are like the names of stones. I think it's super cute. I actually got it from Five Below. So the pigment is just all right. It's Five Below. And then I use this ColourPop palette. A little bit more used. I love this glitter gold, but it gets everywhere. So I use a combination of both. So anyway, it's just like this is the time to really not just talk the talk, but walk the walk, ultimately. You know, at the end of the day, if you, I don't even want to say religious because it's not about religion. It's more about relationship. If you claim that relationship with God or any type of connection with higher power, spirit, source, whatever, you would really see this as a blessing. And you see this as an opportunity for each of us to fulfill some type of purpose. Like maybe you're supposed to be helping people, right? And so maybe it's a time you can give back. And in what way? You know, I don't know. For me, I'm definitely using it as a time to grow, develop, and tap back in and realign and readjust. Something I'd be thinking about is like the power of numbers and the power of numerology, which of course in the traditional Christian ideology and belief system is like not emphasized, not all the time. I've heard different ways. Growing up, it was not something that you should be subscribing to, but now I think more people that identify as like a Christian are more open-minded to talking about the power of numerology and synchronicities and things. Because I even think about when God said in the Bible, "Let there be light," it's very ignorant to think he said that in English. So what words were used to create the light? And if it even was words. Because he didn't say, "Let there be light." Like, that's not, it wasn't like God was like, "Let there be light." He wasn't speaking English. Like, he was speaking Spanish. He was speaking Japanese, okay? So what language was it? And it was a universal language because the light that came about it was the sun. Like, let there be light, and you created the sun. So the sun don't speak English. The sun don't be like, "Hey y'all, I'm taking a little rest. It's gonna be rainy today. I'm just gonna chill out." The sun don't be like, "I'm mad, I'm hot." So what language was God speaking to let there be light? If it was a language. So then I think about maybe people that subscribe to like maybe Scientology or whatever, believe in the Big Bang Theory. How do you know that it was a language at all? It could have been a sound, a noise, a groan, a grunt, a vibrational, a thought. It could have been a transfer of energy. It could have been literally a thought that had no words put to it that produced so much energy and action happened. It don't have to be. I highly don't. I feel very confident. No one can prove that it was or wasn't, but God did not say let, like L-E-T, there, T-H-E-R-E, B-B-E, light, L-I-G-H-T, in English. He might have said those exact words in Hebrew, but this is before even Adam and Eve was formed. So Adam and Eve cannot speak English. Those are the things you gotta think about. So when I think about like numbers, I think about how there was 12 disciples and you have 12 months in a year, 12 signs in the zodiac, 12 houses in like the zodiac. Like, I don't know how to explain that part, but the number 12 is significant. How the number 3 is significant for not just like the Holy Trinity of Father, Son, Spirit, but 3 days, the death, burial, resurrection, like all those things. Numbers are so, the synchronicity of numbers. 7 is supposed to be the number of God. It was 7 days that God took to create the earth. Like, I think about those things and how they play out. So even in the year like 2020, let me get back to my makeup because I'm getting passionate right now. When we talk about the year 2020 and people talk about 2020 vision and they didn't see this coming, you could be blindsided with something. That doesn't mean you have to be like completely knocked off the trail about it. So this is where I know I need to do a little extra practice, because I think what people do now is the cut and crease. I'm like decent with that, I guess. I don't know. But I'm going to go back to probably like old school ways I used to do makeup, like in 2005 when I was in high school, because it was cute. Except, no, sometimes it wasn't, because I would do just like a pink shadow all the way up to my eyebrow. That wasn't cute. We'll see. We'll see. This is just like, we're just talking, just hanging out. Y'all know I'm not going nowhere, right? Y'all know I'm literally doing my makeup to go sit in my game room and watch Wildin' Out and do my homework and read and try to stay off Instagram and Facebook. So if it look a mess, it's okay. And if it look cute, y'all gonna get these selfies when it's over, on period. It look crazy right now. I look like I'm doing some type of costume makeup. I look interesting, but I have faith in myself that I'll figure it out and it'll come out cute. Cause y'all never see me looking a mess, and if you have, you fake for not telling me. But that's you, not me, cause I'm not gonna let nobody look a mess and not tell them that's not true. If I don't fool with you like that, I'm not gonna tell you, because I'm like, maybe that's how you like it. But if you're watching this video and you made it to this far, and you, from this point out, ever see me looking a mess or something looking a little crazy, questionable, and you don't tell me, you fake. You could pull me to the side, you could send me a text, you could DM me, you know, you could be like, hey, what'd you use? What'd you do? What's that right there? If you don't do that, but you think it, fake. Okay, fake. Okay, fake. So yeah, then I'm just gonna, that's not what I want with this one. I'm just gonna blend now, because like, that's what you're supposed to do, I guess. It's gonna be cute. Yeah, I'm gonna put some little goldy glitter on there. Maybe some green, because I got on this camo. So yeah, I just be thinking about everything that's going on. And you know, something I think about too, I vividly remember when I kind of gave up fear-based thinking. It took a while, but I remember the first time I identified with fear, and that was around 9/11. Well, not around 9/11, but like after 9/11 took place. 9/11 happened, I was in the 6th grade. I was already 11 years old, because it was September, my birthday's in March, so I was already 11 years old. I was wearing some Old Navy, like khaki, like cargo type pants, an orange V-neck shirt, and some orange and gray Skechers. I remember, that's how vividly I remember everything from 9/11 happened. I went to my mom's room. She had a TV on. She wasn't pressuring me to go to school, because my mom was very serious about being on time. And so this morning I was up and ready to go, and she was not on my ass. So I was like, whoa, what's going on? And she was on the phone with my aunt, who at that time was living in New Jersey, working in New York. And I see the TV, and then I said this destruction. I'm like, oh shit, what's going on? I'm scared. And she ends up telling me what's going on, and my aunt didn't go to work that day. So that was, you know, it was a blessing. I was like a little bit shocked. But I remember sometime after that being at my grandma's house, and I remember just thinking how scared I was of at any given moment something terrible could happen at any given moment. And I think I talked to my aunt about it, and she gave me some advice that I don't remember right now, but I remember it calming my soul and my spirit. I told you this coming out cute already. Yes, baby girl, she about to look good for her living room, okay? Yeah, I just remember her calming my spirit, calming me down, and reassuring me that things are gonna be fine and to trust God. And so now, as I get older, and things happen, because things have happened in life, health scares, financial difficulty, relationships, mental health concerns, right? Like the hardships have continued to happen, just not necessarily on a global scale like how that was, but personally and globally, like Ebola, right? SARS, right? What was they sending in the mail right after 9/11? Anthrax. I was like, I love getting mail, and now I'm scared, right? Right before all this is going on, and maybe still human trafficking, like things happen that you kind of just, if you think about collectively, like all the could go wrongs, you will be really out here living in fear, which is why I get it. Because some people are just anything going on at any given minute. But you can also realize that we are divinely protected. When I say we, people that subscribe to the same type of thinking of a higher power, higher source, that vibrational energy where it's not words, not English, it's energy, it's felt, it's known, it's believed, of protection, of provision. Like that's on period. Like there's nothing else to even say. How you gonna say that you believe in God but don't believe that God will do what he needs to do to protect you? I've been in 2 car accidents, and I'm sure some people have had different experiences, but my personal experiences, one, being hit by a drunk driver. What should I do next? Because I kind of like it. It's like subtle. I'll put a little bit of little on this part. I was hit by a drunk driver. He ran us a red light. It was 5 of us in the car. I'm gonna do this moonstone. Life-changing accident. It was a lot going on. Some people had to learn how to walk, broken bones. My whole face was all swollen. It was, if I can find pictures, I don't even know if I posted pictures, but going through that was an experience that I really saw death. Another time, I don't know what I want to do. Let's do it like that and see what happens. Okay. Another time, ran off the road by some teenagers going crazy, tried to hit and run. Excuse me. And crashed into a tree. So I've seen death. I know it exists. I know it's out there. I've lost loved ones, and I don't want to lose anymore. But the harsh reality is, it's likely. I'm not gonna say it's gonna happen because it may not. It may not. People in the Bible was living to be hundreds of years old or whatever. Whatever. I believe in the Bible. Some of it could be figurative. There we go. Some of it could be figurative. I think so. It's a mix of figurative and literal. I think there might be a little bit of some hyperbole to an extent, but I think it's up to interpretation. So, people in the Bible was living all them years, and with the advancements in technology, we're not too far behind them with people living. So yeah, it's just that fear-based thinking. So back on track. So around that time is when I first identified, okay, this is what fear feels like. And over the course of the years, from the time of being 11 to, I'd say, 27, 28, that's when my life and my mindset started to change about things like fear. I started realizing, there's nothing I could do. And this was a thought I had at 11 that I don't know if I fully processed until years later. Because we flew, was it 2011 we went somewhere? I think it was the same year everything happened. We went, I don't know where we went, but we were flying and I was scared. And I just had to tell myself, if it's your time to go, it's your time to go. You can't do nothing about it. At least you're going to go with a bang. And I did have to process that a lot. Because I remember even as a teenager, I got my first tattoo. I have a tattoo on my shoulder that says blessed. I got it and it's butterfly. And one of my mentors asked me at the time, well, why did you get that? And I said, because if anything ever happened to me, I must still be blessed. As long as I'm living, I'm still going to be blessed. And even if I'm not living, I'm still going to be blessed because I'm going to be dying knowing who I was living for. So, blessed. And even then, I still had a process through it. And even to this day, in certain instances, I probably still have a process through that. But that's the basis of removing my fear-based thinking. Knowing every day that I wake up, okay, I'm here for a purpose. So since I'm here, what am I doing to step make a step closer and closer towards that purpose, towards like a video game, towards the finish line. And like, you don't know, you may not ever get to the finish line, right? But you will get to the finish line through this game, whether you use up all your lives and you have to redo it, or you don't lose no lives and you get to the finish line and you like crack the code, you crack the key. So I don't think this is the time, especially for anyone that believes in God. I know my eyebrow's looking so bushy right now. Like, this is just, they're going to be super wolf lady brows until further notice, because my line sister told me don't shave them since I can't go get them threaded. She said to wax them. And I don't know if I want to wax them. So I don't know what, they just might be thick, which is fine. I don't mind thick brows. I'd rather have thick brows than thin brows. I don't know what that like is doing right there. Let's just do that and then we can fix it later if we need to. So with what's going on, I don't think this is the time for anyone that claims to believe in God, Jesus, or any higher power of any sort to participate in fear-based thinking. Test your relationship with your higher power. Test the strength of it. How much do you believe? How much do you, and this is also this is the Juvia's Place foundation stick in Guinea. And then like I always do this and I kind of be put on too much and then I forget. So, all right. This is just the time to really tap into your power, tap into your beliefs. Do you really believe that the power that you serve is a protector, a provider, all-knowing, omnipotent, omnipotent? Or do you have limiting fear-based beliefs? Are you scared? And it's okay. I know that sometimes when I say stuff, I've been told, it can come off condescending. I'm not trying to condescend nobody. But I don't think you should be scared. But if you are, that's something that you should be talking about with your higher power and addressing. Because what you gotta be scared for? Ain't nothing happened to you as of yet. And the stuff that has happened, you've overcame. You're on the other side of it now. That's another thing too. So I gotta learn, because like some people do their foundation first. And I think when I do shadow, I'm gonna start doing the foundation first. Because then I gotta go around the shadow. It looks cute though. It's like very natural. Let me put these lashes on. Yeah, girl, she gonna be cute. I don't know. I gotta make sure I'm fully covered. You know what I'm talking about? Full coverage. Full coverage in my foundation, in my insurance, and in my relationship with God. Okay? Full coverage. I don't do nothing halfway. Full coverage. Full coverage, okay? And because it's like, if we know the truth and we know like we're living in weird times that are likely to just get weirder for whatever extent, like granted, everyone's having fun right now because we're on the internet, and that's what you gotta be thankful for too. Thank God this happened in 2020 with the internet. It eases the blow so much, because if all we had was like basic cable and like MySpace, not even MySpace, AOL, the internet was a very dark and scary place during that time. It was not as like fun and funny and friendly. It was very like, be careful where you're at on the internet. Don't go over there, because the internet was weird in its early inception, okay? You would find yourself in some real sketchy places on the internet in 2004. At least I would, you know. Exactly, yes, I told you, just trust me. Trust the process, just like you have to do in life. Trust the process. And sometimes it's a slow process, and sometimes it's a hard process, but you gotta trust it. So yeah, maybe think about setting some goals for the next at least 4 weeks. I think you should do 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. So every 2 weeks you have a goal, 4 weeks you have a goal. And that way, no matter how long this goes on, you're still working towards something. It's not stopping your show or slowing nothing that you got going on. another thing about the Juvia's Place, see, if I touch my face, it's going to leave a print. I don't like that. I don't like that. And it's like, did I use too much? Maybe I'm using too much. But I like full coverage. Full coverage, okay? So, this is a Sephora liner, liquid liner pencil, whatever it's called. I really just do this so that I have like a guiding point to put my lashes. I think the shadow came out pretty good, if I do say so myself. Yes, 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 God, yes, God. Something that also helps me is being grateful. Like how I just said, thank you God for the internet, that this happened at this time we had the internet. Thank you God it happened. You know, for some of you, thank God it happened while you have your spouse. Because what if this had happened when you didn't have your spouse and you was like lonely, you know, in your single days or something? This one's gonna be a little bit different than that one. In your single days or something. And you would have been out here probably making poor choices, risking the Rona, just to feel a little TLC. That ain't worth it. Whereas somebody like me, who messing up on this eyeliner, I'm grateful that it happened where I could spend time with my family. Because I know that everything is a cycle, everything is cyclical. And while I felt like, this is me personally talking about myself, there was time I missed before hanging out with my family when we were not living in the same state. Now it's like, we have not on top of each other, but you know what I mean. We ain't got nothing but time. And I thank God for that. I'm definitely one of those people that was like, ooh, child, I need more time. But I'm also like very impatient to where I want it to happen now. Okay, all right. Let's do a little improv then. So I guess I can say this. With all due respect to people whose lives dramatically shifted and changed after this. You may have lost work. You lost your job. Like, you might be, you know, it's like, whoa, what's going on? That could definitely affect you in a different way than someone like me who, it wasn't much of a big shift. And the shift that it did affect, it was like, in a good way. Like, I ain't gotta drive to Dallas 2 times a week for the rest of the semester. Praise God. But also, that's me looking at the silver lining in the cloud. Like, I could probably be freaking out. Is this going to affect when I graduate? Is it going to affect this? Is it going to affect that? I'm not even thinking that way. I'm not even letting them thoughts exist. This is the first time I even thought those thoughts. You know, I'm thinking like, praise God, because now it's going to definitely be an easy semester. Thank you, Lord. Thank you. Because now y'all going to give them A's, okay? I'm like, I was affected. For all my Houstonians, you remember Harvey? This is Harvey for everybody, okay? When we went through for Harvey, when we was kind of like, let's just throw the fall away and start over in the spring. They like, let's just throw the spring away and start over in the summer. And I'm like, that's cool, because your girl been working out. She been doing her cardio so she can get back lean how she was, because she likes to be lean. She likes being thick too, but like, she needs to be lean. Yes, so she been doing her cardio. It's great outside. I be seeing people like, count your blessings, okay? Count your blessings at the end of the day for all this. Even if you are in a situation that is grim, count your blessings. Count your blessings. I'm telling you, being grateful will change your mindset. Setting goals will give you something to do. Yeah. Give, you know, show gratitude, show love. Tap into your inner self and inner source. Talk to God. If you're frustrated, if you're angry, you should be talking to God all the day. Yeah, but you should be talking to God at all times. Like at all times. Bad, good, otherwise, like, I'm frustrated right now. And I'm not mad at you because I know it's all gonna work out. But I'm mad because of the situation. So can you help me process through these emotions? Because I don't want to be mad. And God gonna, if you sit long enough and open your heart and open your mind, open your spirit to hear the voice, He gonna tell you, you gonna find one little thing and then you're like, I can't be mad no more. Sometimes I don't be liking to talk to God when I'm mad because I'm gonna hear the answer or hear the reason and then be like, I'm not even mad no more. And I be wanting to be mad sometimes. But that's the flesh, that's petty. That's when you know you still got some growing to do, which is beautiful. All right, y'all. Well, I had ended up getting a call, so I'm gonna wrap this up because I finished my face And my overall thoughts, I still don't like how my forehead is crinkling. I could have blended this eyeshadow a little bit better. Now let's blend that a little bit better. I don't like that. Yeah. So, oh, let's try it like this. Yeah. That's better. There we go. And, oh. I don't know where my other brush is, but let's brush out these eyebrows. Throw on face to go walk around my neighborhood, watch TV, read some articles, write papers, and be on Instagram. I think it'll do. And if not, it will have to. Peace.
Royalties, royalties, treat me like royalties.